Welcome. This is part 2, and we were looking at the difference in the types of security assessments. We already talked about vulnerability assessment, penetration tests, and audits. Now let's take a look at Whitebox, Graybox, Blackbox assessments next. Now, a Whitebox assessment, the description is the tester has full access to all internal information available, such as the network diagrams, the source code, and we also sometimes give particular credentials, create accounts and give credentials to the tester as well. And the Whitebox assessment is best and most useful, or is best used with vulnerability assessments, because you want to find as many issues as possible. Moving to the Graybox assessment, here the tester has some information but not all, and you want to give some information to tester but not all, and sometimes you're not sure, so we call that a Graybox assessment, because we don't want to give all of the information and make that a white box assessment. And then you have a black box assessment, in which the tester is given no knowledge about the network attacker's perspective, and this is best used when you're performing a penetration test. Now, what's interesting here is that the white box, gray box, and black box assessments are just talking about, or just concern, the level of transparency or the level of information which you are giving to the tester, and not really about the technique of the testing. Moving on to risk assessment. Here we should involve, it involves determining what the current level of acceptable risk is, measuring the current risk level, and then determining what can be done to bring these two in line where there are mismatches, or where they don't align together. So risk assessments commonly involve the rating of risks in 2 dimensions. How frequently will it happen, or can it happen, probability, and impact. What damage would it cause if it happens? So risk assessment is an umbrella term, a general and generic term, for determining what you have of value, what's precious to you, how can it be attacked, what you would lose if those attacks were successful, and what should be done to address the issues. Now, risk management is really a part of governance or managing in our 4-step security transformation model. It's part of, we've placed it as part of security governance. And because we have to assess risk, and it can form a very good formal procedure and SOP as well, and we can conduct these exercises. But as we have mentioned earlier in the course, risk management, fits in nicely where organizations usually have attained a level of maturity. For immature organizations who have poor security posture, we want to do the security hardening first, we want to do the vulnerability management first, 2 first steps in our security transformation model. What's a threat assessment? The driver for the assessment is to determine how many resources, if any, should be spent on addressing the issue in question. And here, a threat assessment is best used in situations where someone has made a claim around performing an attack in the future, or such a potential is uncovered somehow. For example, an attacker could send an email saying that a certain system is vulnerable, and have a look at that. Or you could also receive a threat communicated by a potential attacker saying that, give me a certain amount of money, or do certain tasks, or I will deface your website, for example. Now, that was about the threat assessment, and let's look at red team exercises, bug bounty programs in the next module. Thank you.